Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Synergy of the Rose. I'm Claire Attio,
Hi everyone, this is Silvia Jaira.
and guess what? We're going to be talking about the eclipse season that is just upon us.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, the 14th, we have the solar eclipse in Libra, and on the 28th, we have the lunar eclipse as it moves into Scorpio. So there's a lot going on energetically.
Mhm.
The placements of the planets as these eclipses are hitting are very important. There's a lot of literature out there at the moment. I have had quite a lot coming in, obviously being a Scorpion, so I knew for me it was like it's woohoo. But with that woohoo, there is also a lot that needs to be done, and so we're going to be discussing that um within this episode, aren't we, Sylvia? Yeah, so it's the biggest thing is learning is looking after your own energies, cleaning and clearing. And this came up in my accountability group as well. Was the reminder to take full responsibility for your energetic hygiene, making sure that you're cleaning, you're clearing, you're rebalancing, you're replenishing. And within that comes your sleep patterns, your diet, your fluids, everything that is going to keep you healthy, grounded, well balanced, and connected to light source, whether you call that God, whether you call it the divine, whether you call it the universe. So that's the
Mhm.
first thing, because there is a lot of energies coming in. And as these energies come in, we've seen the darker side. We've seen its polarity, as it
Mhm.
were, on the news, and the things that are going to be coming through with that. And obviously, as that is going to unfold as we move into 2024, because there's a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a lot going on. Like I said, just even for myself, I've been sleeping more, and I've had this pattern, very particular sleeping patterns that I've never had before. And I do know that there's a lot that we have to do some protection within ourselves when we sleep, because that just came through for me, and that we're becoming quite lazy when we protect ourselves. Remember, that's when we are most open, and when we're sleeping. And I think a lot of us, is what's coming through, is that we become quite lazy about realizing and protection before you go to sleep. And we used to say before that, or I grew up thinking, told that to always protect your dreams, always protect your the way um, before you go to sleep, your bed. And so I myself, I caught that I have kind of stopped doing that also, but it's the energy that's coming for me right now. It's almost that I find myself jumping back and forth. So the energies are just for me all over the place right now. And today being obviously um, a full moon, and then tomorrow an eclipse, it's I feel almost like waves of energy up and down.
Mhm.
So, and I think we were discussing this earlier. Like, how do you feel about that? Because I've had that quite intense and then drops, intense energies and then drops of energy. Quite often, actually, that I think about it.
Yeah. I've not actually been experiencing that at the moment. I was experiencing that in the beginning part of the year. So I do wonder whether it depends where we are astrologically within our
Mhm.
birth charts, because I've not been experiencing that. I have felt the energies. Um I have been aware that that's the big divide that we've all been known that is coming, and none of us really want, to be honest, because it would be lovely if we could all ascend at the same time. Um, but I am aware that split is occurring. The one thing that that I want to really put out there and really get across to everybody is to stay in the high vibes.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be things that we see. I mean, I stay away from mainstream, but even Spirit made me aware of what went on last weekend, and even today.
Yeah.
I got a lift back because I took my car to the garage, and I ended up having a conversation about what's being planned and what's going to be happening this weekend. So Spirit are making me aware, and so I'm looking into, okay, when we finish this podcast, I'm going to be kind of meditating on, okay, what is it you want me to do? How do you want me to hold space? Why have you brought this onto my spectrum? Because it will only do that because it wants you to do something. Now, it may be that it just wants you to send out a prayer. It may be that it wants you to send out healing. It may be in as simple as putting your own protection around you and keeping your vibes high. Only you will know. Just take the time, tune into yourself, ask your guides, ask your team, ask your higher self, why are you bringing that onto my spectrum? If it's bringing it onto your spectrum. If it's not, then it's not, and it's not for you. Don't take something that's not for you,
or go looking for it.
or go looking for it. Yeah. But it's there are going to be a lot of things to drop the vibration of the collective, of the light collective, as the new era rolls out. And what I've been shown and what I've been told is that it's absolutely paramount that we send love, we send light, we send healing to the atrocities that are happening in the world, but we do not allow our vibrations to drop. We do not step into the new world, the new era, carrying anything other than love and light. Yes, are there polarities that exist? Are there heavy energies? Is there a battle going on? Absolutely there is. But we do all of what is needed. We be a warrior from the place of love and light, not from a place of fear, anger, injustice, hurt, pain. We don't want to be carrying those lower vibrating energies into the new era. That is the message that's been coming through for me very, very clearly, and I know that's been coming through for a lot of other people, because I spoke with Sylvia and I've spoken with other spiritual practitioners, and that is definitely coming in. Are there atrocities happening? Yes, there are.
Yeah. When you said that, the first thing that came through really strongly, and where I was mentioning when you go to sleep, is that's how they're going to get at, not get us, I'm not going to say get us, but they're going to try to lower your vibration, because that's when we are our most vulnerable and exposed. So you have to make sure that you're not lazy, and you protect your dreams and protect your vibrations there, because they know that we are, when we're awake, we have our protections, we have done everything, once we feel, we stay in our higher vibrations and everything. But it's when we come low that's how they're gonna come and infiltrate us. That was what just came through right now, that you were saying that. I was like, okay, so now I understand the sleeping.
Yeah.
What they're talking about sleeping.
Yeah. They'd love us to create the new era and take them with us. They cannot survive these heavy energies. And we're not talking about people, we're talking about energies here. The heavy energies cannot survive in that divine light. And so they are fighting for their own survival. This is not about a them and us, a hate and love. It's about understanding that these heavy energies or entities, or whatever it is what you want to call it, they are in survival mode. And so they will do whatever it takes to try and survive, as we all would. As we all would. We all have that natural instinct to survive. And so, yeah, the dream state, because that is when you are at your, as Sylvie said, your most vulnerable. That is when you are at your most open. And so that is when they will try and attach themselves to you in some shape or form.
I think a lot of it also comes like the next day when you wake up, you'll just feel like tired, and you'll have like a worried feeling, or if you feel like, oh, there's something happening, I'm not sure, or anxiety. That should be one indicator that you know you're probably having, and you need to do something about it so that you can cleanse yourself
Mhm.
from those energies, because they're not yours. They're coming through, especially this weekend, especially with eclipse, especially with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Going to be really heavy, and we need to really, really protect ourselves tonight. So
It's and the other thing with the eclipse is to remember that the Libra is all about rebalancing. It's all about retribution. If you really want to get it, there's going to be a lot of karmic energy flying, and there's going to be a lot of karmic. There's a lot, and I don't like I don't like to think of karma as people getting their ass whipped at having done something less than love. But the reality is the energies you put out do come back, and Libra is about kind of speeding up those cycles and clearing up those cycles. And so there's going to be a lot of people as well receiving anything that needs, and it's not as a punishment. I want to get over karma. It's not about punishment. Karma is about being given a lesson, and it's up to you to sit with it and be introspective and learning from it. There have been times when all of us have not been our best. There have been times when all of us have put out and created negative energy.
yeah,
This is not about
absolutely.
segregation, them and us, or I am holier than thou and they're the evil ones. It's not about that. It's about taking responsibility for where you were at the time when that was created, and just taking it. Don't run from it. Just take it and go, okay, thank you. Okay, I've learned from that. Okay, I need to be more introspective. I wasn't the best version of myself in that moment. I was still running on programs of fear. I was still triggered. I still running programs of lack. I was triggered. I was whatever it is that comes to you. Don't think of it as being as a punishment. Think of it as an opportunity to learn and to grow and to expand your consciousness to a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
The lunar eclipse, seeing as I mentioned that, is all about death and rebirth being in Scorpio. So it's death of the old and the rebirth. So it's that phoenix rising. So whatever comes onto your spectrum now, you've got like that couple of weeks stretch to really be introspective, really take the lessons, really make the changes in your life, so that as we go into the lunar eclipse, you can bring light to the shadow. You can put a death to the past, and you can rise from the flames with passion in the renewal.
Mm-hmm. Today also, if you're hearing it today on Friday the 13th, and it's a full moon, reconciliation. That's another.
Oh yes. Sorry, yes, I
It's
forgot about
also do the reconciliations, if that, because that's part of moving forward and cleansing yourself, and also if there was even reconciliation with yourself, maybe you need to forgive yourself as well for something you've done, and just go back there and just say, hey, that wasn't okay for myself at the time. Whatever you do, sometimes I actually do that sometimes, where I didn't, sometimes I get angry at myself for doing something, and I have to go and revisit that to say like, hey, you did what you could with what you had.
Mm-hmm.
But also reconciliation with friends and family, if you know, if it's right for you. That's the big one, because you're trying to move forward, especially with the lunar eclipse coming up. You want to make sure that everything's balanced.
Yeah.
So that was really coming up, reconciliation.
So That said, that's bye-bye from me.
And me. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
Till the next time.